What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Career Mode. Today we have a decision to be made, so if you want to check out the I button right now, then there should be a poll at the top right hand side of this video. I won't go into detail as to what it is right now, but obviously if you click it, it should explain the majority of the thing. So we will talk about that at a later stage, and it more or less is to do with one player coming in on a pre-contract. So if that doesn't give it away, I'm sure the poll itself, when you open it, will have done. So if you want to check it out, top right hand side, there should be a little I button. Click that, cast your vote, let me know what you guys are thinking on regards of that one. But today we play 3 more games, and we also try and book ourselves a place in the Carabao Cup final. You remember, after the last one, we lost 3-2 to West Ham in the first leg of that one, but we did play away, so the 2 away goals might come in dividends for us coming in that second leg. We'll see what's going to happen. First game, though, to warm ourselves up was somewhat of a disappointment. We faced Newcastle in the league, away at St James's Park, and they took the lead inside 7 minutes. We blocked 2 shots. The second time we blocked it, though, it was deflected straight across our box into the path of Finn Bogerson, and he put the ball in the back of the net to make it 1-0. There's the first block, there's the second, straight across into the path of him, and he just couldn't miss. So there's not a lot I can do when it's bouncing around our box like that. We've just got to clear our lines, and we couldn't do that beforehand, so we just had to try and put literally anything we could on trying to block that ball. And unfortunately, it went in the back of the net. So Newcastle took the lead, but obviously we weren't going to sit there and allow this to just be the thing. So we wanted to get ourselves back on level terms. And we wanted to do it very, very quickly. And inside 16 minutes, we had an opportunity to do so. Vinicius Jr. finding his way into the box before firing his effort wide of the post. Felt like it was going to be a very disappointing afternoon. This really annoyed me. Like, how did we lose that pace battle there with Bernardo? I don't know, man. It's just the golfing class between our second team and our first is quite big, to be honest. But we were able to find our way back into the game. Inside the second half, 52 minutes gone. Andres Pereira popped up, little 1-2. With, I think it was Davy Proper in the end he plays it with, and he was able to fire it in order to give us the equaliser. But like I said, the golfing class between our second team, which was this team here, because I had to play this knowing that I had that game to come against West Ham, and also because we had a few fitness issues to a certain few players. It's noticeable. Like, I could tell definitely that when we were on the ball in certain areas where I felt we should have been able to score, we just didn't find that cutting edge pass. I mean, this cross here from Vinicius Jr., the header came in from Andres Pereira. Should do better. Should at least test the goalkeeper instead of heading it straight at him. At this point, we were just firing everything we could at Newcastle's goal to try and find a winner. Florian Andone came in, and he had our best chance in the later stages of the game, firing this one narrowly wide of that top corner in towards the side netting. But after 93 minutes of play had been played, that was the end of the game. So we gave away one opportunity, and it was in the first half, and then they hit the post. Since then, we largely, dominated the game. A little bit disappointed to not get much more than a draw out of it. At least it's not the defeat. But I want to reiterate something I said in a previous episode. You'll remember when things were going rosy right at the start of the season, I said to you guys, around the 22 game mark, you might notice that we'll sort of drop off a little bit. Once we start getting into the thick of having to play cup football, having to play in the Champions League as well, it might start to play a part. And I said that to you guys quite a few episodes ago. Now, well, I was right, because having to name my second team there in that game against Newcastle, not ideal. I feel like if we'd have played our strongest team, we might have got a better result than just the draw. Obviously, the defeat didn't come in, so it's not the end of the world or anything, but just keep tabs on that when I said the 22nd game might be where we potentially will start to drop some points and might slip from the top of the table. We got an offer for Florian Andone from Monaco. I decided to go ahead and counter it, and they accepted my counter offer of around 20-something million pounds. I was so happy to have that, honestly. I just wasn't interested in keeping him. 21.3 million pounds for a player that's not played that much football for us this season. Happy days, I'll take that with both hands. So he's left the club, he's gone to Monaco for that amount of money. Izquierdo will not be leaving for that one though. I rejected that bid, which means now we only have Balotelli, we only have Arp, who are out-and-out strikers at the club. We've got Watkins, who can play there. We've got Vinicius Jr., who can play there. But in terms of out-and-out strikers, there is only Feet Arp and Balotelli as the two at the moment. So that gives us around about £40 million to spend. So if you've got any suggestions of a striker that you want to see us bring in, leave him down below, and I might make it happen between now and the end of the window. We did face Southampton, decided to sim it with the home team. And as I said to you guys previously, wanted to try and test our limits in a certain few sim games this season. So we did that. We ended up losing by 1-0. So following on from that 1-1 draw against Newcastle, a 1 that defeats Southampton, not ideal. So confidence was kind of low going into the second leg against West Ham. We were obviously behind anyway, so we had to come back and try and win the game. But after that 3-2 defeat against them in the first leg, and then the way we were playing here, I honestly didn't expect much coming from the game. But we turned up, so we have to give it everything that we've got in our locker. We were able to create a chance, and it was a really fortunate move, this one, because when I played that ball through with Rabiot in towards Brahimi, sent us out so wide. We couldn't get a shot away with Brahimi like I was trying to do initially, but his cutback across the face of goal was turned in by the Italian stallion that is Mario Balotelli. So, 62 minutes gone, we were able to find the opening goal of the game. Adding that to the 2 away goals we picked up in the first leg, it means if the score remains equal after extra time, at this current stage at 3-3 aggregate, we will go through in the away goal ruling. I believe that's how it works for the Carabao Cup. But it didn't really matter because we were pretty much dominating here. And I don't know how that happened because wasn't playing the greatest football we've ever played. But we found Ollie Watkins, he burst through and doubled our advantage. About 10 or so minutes later, after a nice finish into the corner of the goal, and as he ran over to celebrate in front of the camera, I knew the job was done. So a 2-0 lead here makes it 4-3 on aggregate, which now means West Ham have to score twice to try and get this one back and send them through. Obviously, 1 goal will take it to extra time, but then the away goal ruling will send us through anyway. So confidence kind of came back in this one. I suppose it was more just about us enjoying our football, really. Now, the issue is, if we get through, we're going to be facing, I think, Spurs. They beat Norwich in the first leg quite convincingly. They're going to play a second leg against them, and you just expect Spurs to go through. And it's like I say, they're kind of our bogey team in many ways. There's quite a few teams I've struggled with this year and this season, but Spurs specifically, don't know what it is. Whenever we play against them, I just feel a little bit like we're just not necessarily at the races when we need to be. So after a 2-0 win here against West Ham, that does book our place in the Carabao Cup final, but it will be Spurs that we will be playing, because as I show you as we come out of the game, they did actually beat Norwich. Not only did they beat them, they beat them convincingly. I think it was 5-0 in total over the 2 aggregate games. So, I mean, how are we supposed to take down Spurs? They won the league last year. They're clawing the points back on us in the Premier League this year. They're going to take some stopping. And I'm saying this as if we're the team behind them, when actually we're probably the favourites in that Carabao Cup final. But the way we're playing currently doesn't feel like it. Don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just lacking a little bit of confidence. There you go. Confirmation of that one. Spurs 3-0 in the second leg against Norwich means 5-0 overall. We scraped through with a 4-3 aggregate win against West Ham. So it will be Spurs facing Brighton in that Carabao Cup. So it's the first time we're playing in the finals of a cup in this series. Seems a bit strange considering the fact we're winning the Premier League this year and yet to win a cup, but that's the way we find ourselves. We'll try and get as much as we can in terms of that one. Not sure when that final will be played, so it will be coming up pretty soon though, because it's not played at the end of the season like the FA Cup is. It's played like kind of mid-season, so you do have that to look forward to. In terms of the FA Cup though, there was a game there against Burnley, which we went ahead and simmed, and we went ahead and got through as well, winning that one without even having to play it. Now, because we are in January, obviously, we are able to make some pre-contracts happen, and one person that I wanted to bring in was this guy, Ndombele, from Lyon, 81 rated, 23-year-old central midfielder. He's 5'11", and he's got all the attributes I was looking at for a central midfielder. 3-star weak foot, I would have preferred a 4, but you can't complain. If you're picking up a player for free, you're not going to sit there and have a go at anything to do with them. So, talking about that little, I guess, poll in the I button there, you guys can vote on it. It's to do with Anthony Martial. He is available on a pre-contract. Now, the poll should say, should we make him a Brighton player next season during a pre-contract? Yes or no? So, should we go in for him, basically, is the poll. I'll let you guys decide on that one, because some people are going to say, no, that's too easy. Some people are going to say, yeah, we want him to come here. And some people are just going to say, we're not really that bothered, to be honest. But I do give you guys the option anyway, so you will make the decision. The final game coming against Everton in the Premier League following the 1-1 draw we got against Newcastle earlier. We then obviously lost to Southampton. So we need to get a win in this game here to kind of get confidence coming in the Premier League again. Phil Foden finding Vinicius Jr. early on. Cuts inside on the right foot. Curls one good save. Goalkeeper stops us going 1-0 in front. Now, he might have had a good start, but things didn't continue. Gylfi Sigurdsson. Yep. We gave the ball away cheaply, and he just smashed it. Top bins, really. Everton 1. Brighton 0. 28 minutes gone. Honestly, guys, I lost the ball. As soon as I lost it, I just knew. I knew what was coming. And that ball was going top bins. He picks it up, and like I said, not a lot you can do. If you give the likes of Gylfi Sigurdsson this sort of time in and around your penalty area, he's going to do that. So I need to learn from my mistake there. Don't give him that sort of time. Again, though, we'd have to fight our way back into the game like we did against Newcastle. Phil Foden, don't know how he missed this. I really don't. He should have got us back on level terms inside the first half. It's a great opportunity to do so. And this is the problem. He's got to finish that, or at least get it on target. You know, that's not good enough, I'm afraid. But we kept going, and we were able to find another chance in the second half. Ollie Watkins laying this one off towards Rabiot. Gonna be honest, I didn't mean that pass to go all the way through to the French midfielder. I wanted it instead to go to Arthur at the near post. So I'm not going to complain because the ball's in the back of the net, so I can't complain. But yeah, I didn't mean for that pass to go all the way through to Rabiot. I actually meant that for Arthur on the near post. But I'm glad it did, because we were back in the game at 1 apiece. So at least we got something for our troubles in this one. Went underneath the goalkeeper's legs as well, megging him in the process. So got to take a look where it's given. Everton, though, they made me pay. Bernard in towards Digne. Digne just does me with a fake shot back towards Bernard, and he keeps his composure, firing it in through the legs of Retsos, who is not good enough to be playing in the Premier League, I'm afraid. I've made my decision. I don't think we'll be keeping hold of Retsos come the end of the season. He's had a few suitors so far in this window. A few people have looked at him, a few teams as well, but I just don't think he's going to cut it for us, really. If I'm being honest with you guys, I think certain situations he has to do better as a central defender. Maybe it's his age, maybe it's lack of experience, I don't really know, but I think I'll be getting rid of him at the end of the season. Last kick of the game, pretty much. We sent through Yassine Brahimi, searching for a second equaliser in the game. Sent through from Ollie Watkins, and Brahimi turned golden for us. We managed to get ourselves back on level terms again. We deserved it, by all accounts. We didn't deserve to lose this game. I didn't think that anyways, because Everton only had 2 chances, and they took both of them. So in their respective, part, great finishing. For us, unlucky. We've got to say it like that one. So for them to have 2 shots, take both of them, didn't feel like we deserved to lose the game. So Brahimi going through, scoring this one, felt a little bit like justice was done. We're going to at least get a point from this. But still, it's 2 points dropped. And whenever Spurs are closing the gap the way they are, we've got to win our next Premier League game. They've closed it. We had like a 9-point gap coming into today's episode. That now down is to about 2. So things are very, very tight at the top. We're going to have to win our next game, I think. So we'll see what's going to happen in that one. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy it, a like would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, let me know about Anthony Martial by voting on the poll at the top right-hand side of the screen. And give me your input as well with a comment down below. That's how the league table is currently looking as it stands. Liverpool nowhere near that. They are still near down the bottom side, but they've got Derby incoming. So we'll see if they can win their game. 16th at the moment for them. Crazy scenes in that one. If you are new around here, like what you see, the subscribe button is down below. And if you want to hit the notification bell as well, you get notified whenever a new episode goes live. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Adios.